Hey yo, welcome back to the Beyside Jewel. I'm your host, Brother Bay here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm gonna tell you a story. That's what I'm gonna do, and I think the story is gonna give a lot of you some good. Those that are traveling abroad, uh, brothers and sisters. I think this will do some good. You know, from my experience, almost 6 years there in the Gambia, I've seen a lot and I've heard a lot. Um, One thing that I have definitely noticed is that relationships over there, uh, not just the Gambia, abroad, period. Relationships are easy to get into, but can be very hard to get out of. Yeah. So keep that in mind, and I'm gonna give you a story and kind of give you you know, some details to why that could be. Why are they hard to get out of? When you go and you get involved with one of the locals abroad, to them you're an asset. You are very valuable to them, to most of them. They look at you like you have money. You're from the West, and you're an opportunity they could possibly get out of where they're from. Whether it's in Africa or Philippines, Thailand, wherever. You're an asset. So they put a value on you. They put a high value on you, more than you even realize. For many of us Americans, I think that, we go to these different places and we get involved. We think that, the woman is special, and, or maybe the women may think the man is special. But they put a value on us, and we're actually the prize. That's the way I see it. We're the actual prize. A lot of times we don't even realize it. We think they are the prize, but it's actually you. You are the prize. And that's why it can be very difficult for you to get out of that relationship. And that's the very reason why it's so easy for you to actually get in the relationship in the first place, because there's a high value on you. You're an opportunity for them to leave that particular destination and perhaps come to America, or to the West. And even though you may not have a lot of money, but to them you're rich. To them, and compared to them in technical ways, you are. um, so it can be easy for you to get involved abroad in a relationship. So you need to be careful, because you are the actual prize, not not the local. They're not the prize. It's you. And they know this. They put emphasis on this, and this is why it can be difficult for you to get out of that relationship. Now, I'll tell you a story. When I was in Gambia, I was getting my license renewed, and there was a brother from America that recognized me. Brother Bay, he said. And I went over there and greet that brother, and he said, "Oh, I got to tell you something." And what is it? He's like, "They took everything. They took everything." I'm like, "What? Well, okay, man, just tell me your story, right?" And he says, he was, I don't know if he married this lady or if that was just his girlfriend, but more often especially Muslims, you can't just have a Muslim girlfriend. You have to marry them over there. And so this lady, I guess he married her, and he wanted to get out of the relationship because it wasn't right. He didn't feel good in the relationship, and so he had a difficult time getting out of the relationship. Couldn't get no help. The police won't help you. You can forget about it. I've experienced that. The police ain't gonna help you. They'll help the local, but they ain't gonna help the foreigner, right? I've experienced that. He said, Brother Bay, they took everything. They took everything. They took my TV. They took his living room set. They took his dining room set. They took his kitchen. They took his food. They took everything, he said. They took everything. He said, you have to tell my story. I said, man, I know somebody else that did that too. I know somebody personally that has happened to. I said, I can't, man. I'm here in Gambia, man. I tell this, man, and put this out there. Gambians ain't gonna like me. The locals ain't gonna like me, and I'm here in Gambia. Shit, they may even deport my ass, right? So I said, I'm sorry, man. I said, I can't tell that story. But now that I'm back in the U.S., I'm letting you know that it happens a lot, you guys. It happens a lot. When you get involved, especially guys, I know this happened to. When you get involved and marry one of these ladies, Muslim style, and she's supposed to be your wife, when things don't go right, it's hard as hell to get out of that relationship. It's supposed to be a simple thing, but it's not. It's not. And it's hard to get out. They think that, especially if you sleep with them, if you've had sex with them, they think that everything you got belongs to them. Yeah. So everything you buy, they think it belongs to them. It don't belong to you or y'all. They think it belongs to them. So, I know this has happened to a few guys, including myself. It was difficult to get out of the relationship. So sometimes, and I can imagine that this, can be all across in these third world countries, because I've seen videos also where, things wasn't right, like, over in the Philippines or something. And you have a hard time, an allegation over in the Philippines can get you locked up, So you guys got to be careful getting in these relationships, because remember, they're easy to get into. You can easily get into a relationship abroad, but it's going to be hard as hell to get out a lot of times, and just wanted to share that story with you guys, and this also can be applied not just for the men. This is for women too. Be careful, and remember, it's easy to get into, but can be hard as hell to get out of. So, just wanted to drop that jewel down on you guys. I didn't want to put that story out there as long as I was there in the Gambia, being respectful. But, yeah, some of the relationships can be very difficult, so be careful. Until the next time, you guys, I'll see you again right here at the Beyside Jewel. We're going to keep it rolling. Peace.